Sir, could you please and introduce yourself to our readers' background in the tourism and this industry?
Yeah, my name is Alvaro Rey. I'm the general manager of the Intercontinental Park Lane in London.
And your background in the industry, in the hotel business?
Oh, well, I'm one of the old guys of Intercontinental. I've been in this company for 28 years. Mm-hmm. I studied hotel management in Switzerland, mm-hmm. and then started to work in Intercontinental in 1984. I started as in food and beverage department, working as a food and beverage supervisor. Going back to history, I remember I was the one that used to open the restaurant every day at 6 a.m. and close the grill upstairs at 2 a.m. in the morning. So it was almost 24 hours working, but I guess this is the hotel business, and that's what we got into. And anyway, I was in Colombia for a little while. I grew in Colombia from F&B supervisor to F&B manager. Then I was front office manager. I decided to change a little bit and to learn about another part of the business. I already knew quite a lot on F&B, but I wanted to learn, so I asked for that opportunity, and I went into the rooms part. I was in Colombia for 4 years, then I was transferred to Venezuela, Maracaibo, Venezuela, as resident manager of the hotel. I was there for 2.5 years, and then I decided to ask the company to give me an opportunity to move out of Latin America. I wanted to discover something else in the world. And I went to Amman. I was appointed as hotel manager of the Intercontinental Amman in Jordan. Fantastic experience. It was fabulous during that time, of course. King Hussein was still alive, and we used to run his palaces. So it was a very, very interesting and learning experience. After that, I was asked by the president of Intercontinental in Latin America to come back to open a hotel in my hometown. Mm-hmm. At the beginning, I didn't want, because I was very happy in the Middle East, but then I say, well, the company wants you there. So I went there as my first post as general manager. I was in that property for 2.5 years. Fabulous experience, great, because we took a hotel with 15% occupancy in the first day to 60% occupancy. Then I went to Cali, Colombia. I was promoted to a very probably difficult task during those times. Colombia was going through a very, very difficult situation, drugs and all these things. And it was tough, and the challenge there was to change the image of the city, to grow the hotel, and it was fabulous. Again, another learning experience. From there, I moved to Brazil, to Sao Paulo, as general manager of our newly opened Intercontinental. Fabulous. Of course, went there through a huge devaluation. The economy was complicated, so we had to learn how to manage a hotel in a different way. After 3.5 years in there, I was moved to Argentina, to Buenos Aires. Fantastic property, lovely. However, after 4 months that I was there, huge devaluation, country went into a chaos, 3 presidents in one day, but for me it was great. It was a way to learn how to manage a hotel in a totally different moment, in a difficult situation.
Crisis, yeah.
So it was a great, great learning experience, and we took that hotel that city from nothing to great success in a year or so. So it was beautiful, beautiful experience. And after that, I was transferred to Sydney, to Sydney, Australia, another fantastic location. The task there was a little different, was fixing the relationships with the owners, refurbishing the whole hotel. So it was very enriching as well. And of course, living in another beautiful country, in another great city. And after Sydney, the company told me, well, there is a need for a general manager in London. We have seen your career, and we think you are the person that we need for this city. It took me a while to decide, because from lovely sunshine to lovely rain. However, it's beautiful today.
Yes.
So actually that was one of the surprises, you know. I heard so many things about London that is right, and I love it. And it's fantastic. It's that combination of the rain, the gray, and the blue like today. So I've been here since 2009. Another fantastic experience, seeing the hotel growing and in spite of difficulties in the economy. But we are there. We're doing very good. So that's a little bit my story.
And a fantastic, huge experience also in the industry. And what do you prefer to go to next? Do you prefer? Would you like
don't know.
to do
I'm trying to convince the company to build a hotel in the moon or somewhere else because it's hard to find the location, you know. However, I always say this. Wherever you work, and I have enjoyed every single place that I have worked. I have enjoyed Maracaibo, I have enjoyed Medellin, I have enjoyed Amman, Sydney, London. So it's up to you to make the best out of every country. So I don't know. I'm happy at the moment here, but there is a lot of places that are growing. You know, China is growing, Turkey is growing. Russia, Brazil, you never know.
Yeah. Okay, and what's your thoughts about the future of hotel industry in UK and also in the world? And also new trends in the hospitality sector, because you have a great experience. And you also lived the economical crisis. And what do you think about the in Europe crisis right now and how it affects the UK tourism?
Yeah, I think the hotel business will keep growing. People will keep traveling either on business or in leisure, and there is always new destinations. We see little towns growing, little countries growing, alternatives everywhere, and in spite of sometimes you think, no, this city doesn't need more hotels. Well, travelers are always comparing. Travelers are always learning. So you have to update yourself. And there is new products. There is for everyone's needs. You know, you have to remember that there is so many countries around the world, and there are people that are used to certain type of hotels. So hotel companies are always trying to innovate. So I see still a very good future for the hotel business. And of course, there will be crises, as there are in many countries. I have lived crises in Brazil, in Colombia, in Argentina, even here in the UK. For us, fortunately, this past couple of years, in spite of all the economic situation, we've been doing great. As a matter of fact, last year was the best year in the history of this hotel. And this year we are doing better. So that's great news. That doesn't mean that there are not difficulties, that there are not problems perhaps in other parts of the city, that there are not problems in Europe, because yes, there are. We have seen this year a little decline in Spain, for instance, in Italy, in Portugal. So there are countries that are still suffering, and some of them start recovering very slowly. I think the UK and London specifically will continue growing, in spite of speculations that, you know, after Olympics there is always a drop in occupancies. But you know what? We are not seeing that. We as a hotel, looking into next year, looking into the bookings, looking into the pace, it looks very healthy. It looks very healthy. Groups, there is a lot of... People say after Olympics there is a drop. However, I think London did a fantastic job showcasing the city. I think the city to the world is different. And they did a good job in the Olympics. So there is people wanting to come back to London or to discover London in a different way. So I see a great future.
Okay. And also, could you please tell us a short brief about the Intercontinental London Park Lane And you can, of course, tell us that why the guests prefer your hotel, important markets, and emergency markets, and what's new in the hotel, something like that.
Well, this is a very interesting hotel, and you discover more and more about this hotel while you are here. And this is a hotel that opened in 1975, and I'm going to tell you a little secret of this hotel. You know, our dear Queen lives not very close, not very far from here, just around 800 meters. But before moving there, this was where she used to live. Her house was right where this building is. Mm-hmm. So this is why this corner is so important. We are privileged to have probably the best location in London. We are very lucky. And this hotel is a hotel of 447 rooms. It's a hotel you have seen. It's a lovely, elegant hotel. However, I think what differentiates us from the rest is, in spite of being a luxurious hotel, it's a very flexible property. It's not that sometimes in London you feel, oh, I cannot enter this place because it's just, they look at me in a funny way if I am dressed this way or that way. Here it doesn't happen that way. We cater for a lot of different markets. For the king, the queens, the princes, the sheikhs, all the entertainment business, the government, and for people like you and me. So we don't differentiate absolutely nothing. And that's probably the age. This is what has helped us to be one of the top hotels in the city and the best performers in London. And it's a hotel that has mixed a lot of things. It has great rooms, great meeting space, and another very important thing is very good F&B, food and beverage offering. We have a restaurant which is Tio Randall, which has been the best Italian restaurant in the past couple of years and growing. We have probably one of the best afternoon teas and very different afternoon teas in the city. We created something with the Queen teas and large varieties of teas. By the way, we have a very interesting group of people having tea today from the entertainment business. And we have a bar that is focused on gin. It's very London. So we try to keep London inside this hotel to offer what this city offers, not only outside but inside the property. So that's what I think it makes us successful. We have 64 nationalities working in this property, and we try to keep it this way. Probably this is the most international city in the whole world, so we want to have the most international hotel in the whole world. Having been able to cater to all these nationalities, we have these people working here as well. So we do train our people very hard, and we make sure that everything starts from our staff, and if they are well trained, I'm sure we are going to be very successful. Unfortunately, we are.
Yeah. Okay, what's the percentage of your bookings via internet comparing to the traditional distribution channels?
Internet has been growing, and if you look years back, everybody was scared of booking in internet, but right now it's almost 8% for us, the booking in internet. So it's a tool that people are feeling more and more confident with it, and they use, and people search today. They call the hotel, they call the agency, they look in internet, and yes, things are changing. So you have to be very active in every single way of showing or showcasing or advertising your hotels.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. But I have to ask two personal questions. How is the one working day of Mr. Rey Alvaro at the Intercontinental Hotel?
The problem is when I answer that question, you are going to think I'm very crazy.
I don't think so.
Because I have, throughout my years, I have most of the time I have lived in the hotels. So I have lived 20 years inside properties. So you can imagine that you work all the time. You know, you live in the hotel, you walk around. But since here that doesn't happen, so I come to the hotel at very unusual hours. So I'm here every morning around from 4:30 to 5 a.m. But I like it. It's not because I'm forced to be here. I enjoy it. So my day starts, 4:30, 4:45. I arrive here, and the first thing I do is I go around the hotel. I talk to the people from the night, from the kitchen, from security, the reception, find out what happened during the night, if there were any issues. And once I say hello to everybody, I go direct to my office. I respond to every single email. I respond to my emails at 5 in the morning, every day. So people tell me, well, why are you writing emails? So by 6, I have responded, and I have sent, and I have seen all my papers. At that time, I go around, and I see some guests checking out, so I just try to ask how the stay was. And then at 6:30, I go to the club. I see the first guests that are coming to have breakfast, and probably I have a coffee with one guest. Then I go to the Cookbook Cafe and do the same thing, and if I try to say hello to the guest and have another coffee. Probably the third one I won't have a coffee, I will have water. And then the executive committee start coming, so I try to see each one and say, well, this happened yesterday, this happened last night, we have to do this and that. And throughout the day, there is a lot of things going on. First, I try to meet some of the guests. If I cannot meet some, I will call them. Then I will have meetings with my department heads. I will have today with the director of marketing or revenue manager or food and beverage manager. Actually, I will see them every single day. I like to get involved very much into the operation, and I like to walk a lot. So I go to every single department and say hello and see what's going on. I go to the meeting events and try to meet with all the meeting organizers and so it's a full day. I travel a lot as well. I try to go with the sales team wherever they go. I go to the US, I go to the Middle East, I go to Russia, and I think it's a very important part to be able to support the sales team and to visit yourself, your clients, and be close to them. So I spend a lot of time moving around. I don't sit in my office very, very often, probably 10 minutes, and they run for an hour and then come back for another 10 minutes, and I get tired of sitting in the computer. So I prefer to be involved in the operation.
What time you leave the hotel? Normally? Normally
between 8 p.m. at night. When I finish after 11, I don't go home. I stay in the hotel.
Okay.
Usually after 11 I stay.
Yeah,
but I am a person that I sleep 4 hours a day. So but I don't need more.
Okay. I will ask a question, something like your free time. So, when you take a break from work for your holiday, what do you like to do? Where do you want to go? Which destination is your choose?
My destination is Mama and Papa. And Mama and Papa is in Colombia. I have traveled around the world to many hotels, many beautiful destinations. However, my ideal holiday is going back to Colombia. I have a farm in there. We get together, the whole family. We are 30 for 2 weeks, Christmas and New Year. And I go to the farm, ride my horses. That's my hobby. So I ride 6 or 7 hours a day, horses. And we go through the mountains, to the rivers. I take the kids, and then I go to the pool and put my shorts, don't shave, eat with my hands, and forget about protocol. Just be myself. That's what I enjoy doing.
Thank you so much, Mr. Alvaro.